Well, hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing this look using the new Naughty palette and the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. For those of you who don't know it, this is palette. I'm gonna tell you something. It's great. The new one, the Naughty palette, it's just beautiful, beautiful palette. Makes me want to cry sometimes. But yeah, just keep on watching to see how I did this look. So what I will do, I am going to use my brand new Tarte Maracuja oil. This is going to be used as a primer, but you can use this on your skincare routine. It will always be a good addition. So what I do, I just pick up a few drops of this and I just apply one teeny tiny amount, okay, so that it will dry out entirely and very quickly. What happens on my skin is that it dehydrates throughout the day. So, and even throughout the year, I have times where my skin is actually messy. So what I do, I tend to do a very good skincare routine. Maybe someday I will do a video about it. But, oh, I love the smell of this oil. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so for the eyes, I am going to use the Huda Beauty Naughty palette because this has been a palette that I have been loving throughout the last days, ever since it was launched. I mean, I'm gonna show you up again. I mean, you already seen it, but nevertheless, this is the palette. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Look at these shades. I mean, can there be any more perfection? And I think I will also be picking up my dogs are barking. My Mercury Retrograde. With shipping, the fly is really messing my hand up. And for an eyeshadow base, I am going to be using my P. Louise Base Pro in Rumor 02. You can see it here, I think. There you go. And I'm going to apply it all over the lid. I'm just looking for my brush. So I'm just going to apply with slight taps. I'm not going to dab the product, okay? This base, it's a little bit heavy, all right? So if you don't want that to be as heavy on the eye and you still want to use this base for the eye, I apply less product. All right, so my eyes are primed. Even though I don't need it, sometimes I go with a sort of a beauty blender. So the eyes are prepped. I still saved a little bit of the concealer over here because I might want to do a cut crease, but now I'm going to pick up the Naughty palette from Huda Beauty and I am going to make like a smoky look that I can use on my work. I'm going to pick up this fluffy brush from Jessup. I'm just going to swirl it up a little bit here on the brush cleaner, and I'm going to open up the Naughty palette and just going to pick up the shade. One thing, the P. Louise base, you always need to start up with the darkest color, but I find it okay to start up with the lightest color. So what I'm going to do, I am going to do a deep plum look. So what I'm going to start with, I am going to start with this shade over here called Juicy, okay? And I'm going to apply it all over my crease and a little bit up, okay? So slight taps while I do this. This is sort of the look that I did on the previous video, that 1 minute makeup, that I'm actually thinking about becoming it permanent here on the channel. A lot of people seem to enjoy 1 minute makeup tutorials, and I think I will keep that on here. And as you can see, I'm just going to swirl it around, not pressing it too hard, and swirl it. I'm also going to do the same thing on the other eye. This way it will be done very fast. Slight taps, and when you want to blend, you just use circular motions up and down ever so slightly. As you can see, I don't do a lot of pressure, okay? I just swirl it. Now I'm going to pick up a much smaller brush. This is also the Jessup 231 Luxe Petite Crease brush, which is like this. The other one was more fluffy. Swirl a little bit, and I am going to pick up the next shade, and it's going to be this one over here called Naughty, and I am going to use this on my crease, so right above here and there, just to start defining it. even though we will be applying a much deeper color on the crease and on the outer corner. And one thing that I like to do, since this is going to be a smoked eye look, I like to kind of do this underneath the lash line you can see here. All right. And kind of smoke out a little bit to the top. And don't worry if you will deposit like the darkest colors on the inner corner, because we are going to diffuse it after with a pillowy base so that we can create a kind of a cut crease look. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna pick up my Jessup brush. I'm gonna dip into the shade Juicy again, and I'm going to diffuse what I just did. I find that it's very easy to work with this palette and that the shades blend in together so nicely, and you don't actually have to do a lot of effort. I picked up a very clean brush, and I'm just going to go into the shade Hypnotic over here ever so slightly, and I'm just going to diffuse the outer corners and the inner corners just to blend a little bit more of this gradient on top that we are doing, so it will be more cohesive. Okay. Alright, now with a much precise brush, this is the 223 Petite Eye Blender from Jessup as well. I am going to pick up this shade here called Untamed, and then I'm going to pick up the shade Spicy, and I'm just going to start defining the outer V, okay, so that this smoked eye look will be even better. And what I will do, I will drag a little bit up inside so that I can create depth to the eye. And don't worry if you go a little bit over the board, because then after you will have to do the cut crease anyway on this look. So I'm not even worried about that. And using the same technique, you apply and you blend, apply and you blend. And then with the other brush, the first one, and I'm gonna pick up the shade Juicy, blend, blend, blend. And the same thing on the other side until everything is blended. Alright, now that the blend is all done, I am going to pick up this like sort of flat brush, and I'm going to dip into the rest of the pillowy base that I have, slightly tap because this will be very intense on the eye, and I'm gonna cut the crease to tap, okay? And you can create the shape that you want. Usually the most natural one, you put the product, you look up, and this will give you the cut crease, see? So apply the product on your lid, look up, and this creates the cut crease, and then you just have to fill it in. Usually I do that, sometimes I don't. And then what I like to do, because I already have a lot of product, I like to swirl it on my back of my hand to take out the excess product, and I'm just gonna slightly diffuse it. Always this way. And this is a semi-cut crease. It's not a full cut crease, all right? So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye, and I'll be right back. Cut crease then. So what I will do now, I'm gonna pick up the Naughty palette again, and I'm gonna pick up a flat brush, but this is better applied with a finger, so don't mind me. What I will do, I am going to pick up the shade here, Desire, and apply over there, so ever so slightly. But I will also go into the shade Provocative, which is this marbled one over here. And this is so creamy, guys. And actually, I did this the other day. I used this on my eyes, on the outer corner. And look how beautiful this shade is. I love it. I absolutely adore this palette, to be honest. There isn't one shade here that I don't like. Even the formula of the slippery one, it's a little bit weird, but applied on its own, it's actually nice. You have to apply it like if it's a glossy shadow, but because it was on the palette, it can't be as glossy as you want it to be. So that is why a lot of people are not liking it. To be honest, I don't mind. I actually think it's very cool to have a shade like that on the palette, which is a different thing. I prefer it than the concealer on the Nude one. And I'm gonna apply it with this brush, the same shade here as well. Over there. Oh, I love this shade, can't get enough of it. I'm gonna pick up this here, Juicy, and I'm just going to diffuse a little bit more. I'm gonna pick up this shade over, oh, that is so beautiful. I'm gonna pick up this shade over here, which is called Irresistible, that it's this one on the palette. Look, it's a gnome there. Hi! I'm gonna pick up this one over here, and I'm just going to apply directly with the fingers because the Huda Beauty formula works better this way. And I'm going to, oh, look at that. Slightly tap, 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 tap. All over the lid until my inner corner. Very, very, very beautiful look at this shadow. I love it. Oh, I love this palette. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this one, that it's the Shameless one, and I'm just going to slightly, oh, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous, gives like a little bit of extra dimension to the shade. Oh my god, Huda Beauty, who are you? You did a beautiful palette here, girl. I'm gonna pick up this shade here, Spicy, with this brush here, and I'm gonna concentrate here on the crease. So I'm just gonna pick up this wipe and I'm gonna remove the excess here below. And in here, because I don't want to diffuse the smoky, I'm just gonna slightly tap. And the camera doesn't make it justice because live it's far more dark and far more sultry than it is on the camera. So I'm sorry, but you won't get the full picture. I will apply a little bit of liner. Okay, this is also the Huda Beauty liner that I bought in a set that came with the liner and the mascara. It cost like 30 euros. And I'm going to use first the pencil liner on top. I'm gonna try and not screw it up. Okay, and I'm gonna use the other end and I'm just gonna create a little small cat eyeliner. One thing that I like to do, back again to the Naughty palette, and I'm gonna pick up the darkest shade, which is actually between this one and this one over here. And I am going to pick up a liner pencil. Sorry, a precise brush. This is the detail shader 237 from Jessa. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of both, tap up the excess, and on the end part where I put in the liner, I'm just going to apply a little bit. I don't have black eyeshadow here with me, and this palette don't have it, and I actually don't need it, but I just kind of like to diffuse it a little bit, what I just did. Since we are already finishing up the eyes, I am going to curl the lashes a little bit. My lashes, I don't like to do this, I hate to do this, but my lashes do need an uplift, so I am doing it. And now I'm gonna pick up the Huda Beauty mascara. This is the Legit Lashes. I'm first going to pick up the curl and length size. This is a 2 full size mascara, and I'm just going to lengthen the lashes first. All right, and now I'm gonna pick up the other side, which is the volume side, and I am just going to apply it. The Monsieur Big Lashes from Liqwyd, and I'm going to apply just a little bit. Actually, I think I prefer this one to the Huda Beauty. Sorry, Huda. And I'm gonna pick up the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde, and I was thinking about applying something like bluish below the lash line. So what I will do, I'm gonna pick up this other precise brush here. It's the 237 detail brusher, and I think I'm gonna ruin the whole look, but nevertheless, I'm gonna pick up the shade Mercury, which is this one over here. I don't think I ruined the look at all. I think I like it. Lancome mascara. I'm just gonna apply on the lower lash line. I love this, but now it's asking for lashes. All right, there we go. And now for lips, I'm going to be applying the 65 Seductress by Maybelline, which is my absolutely ride or die lipstick. To really set things up, I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution spray just to finish it up. This is awful. Ignore that. And I'm just going to try it out. And there you go. That's the look. Finish it up. I used both of the palettes from Huda Beauty, the Naughty and the Mercury Retrograde. I mean, I just love how it turned out. I love it. Don't you? Let's ignore the fact that I kind of screwed a little bit of the lips, but I just absolutely love it. And in case you guys want to see me doing more videos like this, just leave your like, share, and place your comments in the section below and leave your suggestions, and I will try to fulfill them. Thank you so much. Have a good day.